Good morning to you. So here I am on the Africa Twin, second ride. This time I'm seeing how it actually works in real life for what I want. Is it overkill? How does it feel to use it in cold blood, so to speak, for what the main use would be? Yes, I could go and travel off up to Inverness or somewhere with it, but most of the time, let's be honest, it's going to be doing this down the Suffolk roads, round going to work and stuff. Admittedly, most of the time it wouldn't be in glorious weather like we're having today. You'll probably also see I'm late for work, but that's okay, we'll get there. So what I would notice is it's quite lurchy. It's the throttle seems to be either on or off. Now that could be just the engine design, it could be the throttle or the Euro 5 emissions, I don't know, but the fact is that's what it is. But I mustn't let that distract from what it's like. And let's be honest, you know, I'm in sixth now, I'm doing 45 miles an hour and it's happy as Larry. It's very smooth. It's a bike that has grown a little on me, and I can see why people have them for a very long time, apart from their capability of being able to do huge mileage. I guess what I need to do as well is to think about it as a comparative to Biggles, the Triumph Tiger 900 Rally Pro. Oh, steady on there. Don't know what I would call this one. I guess if I did have one, Algae would be a good name, but don't think I would get one, to be honest. Don't think I would get one. Very capable machine. Maybe if I moved to a much bigger country with greater distances to be covered and stuff, maybe I would. But do you know what? I think the Triumph Tiger 900, it might even be better off-road. I don't know. I'd like to see professionals with both and see. What I do know, having had this at home, is it is heavy. It reminds me of my old Tiger 1050, and of course it is a bigger engine, but we're not talking hugely bigger, and it is sorry, I need to close my visor. It is very awkward to move about the garage, I find. Obviously, if you're on the weights all day, you probably wouldn't find that. You probably, if you're a great big Hulk monster, you'd probably find it easy. But I definitely find it not as nimble as the Tiger. But then when it comes to wind and stuff like that, this might be superb. It might not budge an inch. I mean, it was a blustery day when I did the test ride, so yeah, very interesting. What I don't like, I mean, yes, it's packed with lots of electronics, and possibly more electronics than Biggles, but this left-hand control panel, I mean, what the hell, I dread to think how many buttons are there. I haven't counted them, but there's a lot, and there's a lot going on the screen, and I think anything you wanted to do unless you were really au fait with the buttons and the screen, you're never going to do it when you're driving along. Never in a million years. Not without killing yourself. It's just crazy. And the other thing, the cruise control is on the right hand, and you think, well, what's that? It's only a button. Yeah, but you're controlling your speed whilst you're stretching, and it is a stretch. I've got hands like shovels, but it's even a stretch for me to get across to that cruise control button and get it pushed, and consequently we end up going like that as you're trying to reach across. So yeah, I mean, these are all difficult. Oh, poor badger. Oh, crikey. And another. What the hell? Oh, that's made my day miserable. Never mind. I'm on an Africa Twin. I'm in Suffolk, but I'm on an Africa Twin. It is very, very comfy and very smooth at this sort of speed. But you know what? The Royal Enfield Himalayan is also very comfy and very smooth at this kind of speed. I think the one I'm on is about £13,500, something like that, with all the kit on, with the boxes and everything, and the DCT gearbox, the automatic gearbox thing. That's about 20,000. Yeah, 20,000. That's a lot of money, isn't it? Mind you, so 13.5. So I just don't know. It is smooth, it does feel comfortable, it's got some weight, it handles well, the engine's good, sounds nice, sounds raunchy, and you know, I'm going to work. This is the whole point of it. It's transport. In winter it probably gives me more protection than something like a Himalayan would, but I don't like the lurching. You know, it's very, very difficult to keep it smooth at low speed, and yet incredibly smooth once you're up and going. But we'll see how we go. We've got town to do yet. We've done the smooth bit. Just go down another gear, go down into third, see if that makes it any better. I don't know, maybe I can set it different. I'm sure if you've got one of these and you're probably in love with it, and you probably know it inside out, but I don't, and so I don't know whether I'd get past this point with it. Yeah, there's that dog. I saw that dog having a dump the other day. Amazing. Start recognising dogs now. Huh. So look at that, all the threes. 33 in third. And this 2 clocks, actually, that makes it, if 2 clocks saying the same thing, that'd make it 666. That's not good, is it? Yeah, I do like the noise the engine makes, I've got to be honest. It's fairly quick as well. It's quick on the uptake. But keeping that engine smooth at low speeds requires quite quite some practice, I think. And in fact, when I thinking about it, I say it's smooth at the high speeds, but it did lurch. Yeah, it's very responsive on the throttle, so when you are trying to get that cruise control on, you might have a bit of lurch. Probably needs a bit of practice. Maybe with more practice, and when I get on the A14, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. See if I can get that cruise control on and off smoothly. On the Tiger, it's just there. It's a doddle. But you can see every slight twitch and it's lurching. It's off. It's a eager beaver is what this is. It goes without saying that these little bumps and manholes and drains and stuff, they might as well not be there because this just eats them up. What's he doing? He's going backwards. Yeah, but you, from a riding point of view, you know, positioning, you're in command of the road. You're like governor of an aircraft carrier. That's what it's like. And you've got mission control in front of you. And it really is like mission control, I tell you. When you start flicking through those buttons, Jesus. Maybe it needs to be in a higher gear so it's labouring more, but I don't want to labour it because it hasn't done many miles. But that's quite smooth there. Third's the gear, definitely. Yeah, for town, that's the gear to be in. So I've learnt that about it just from doing this run to work. Find the indicators because they're sort of hidden amongst a wodge of buttons. So yeah, we'll see what it's like on the way home. So, good afternoon / evening. Yeah, so I've had a busy day in the office. How relaxing is the Africa Twin to ride home? Well, I can sort of understand why. I've been thinking about it, you see. I've been contemplating the rides I've had on it so far, and I can sort of understand why. Oh, is these roadworks working still, do you reckon? I reckon I'm going to miss them out. I'm going to go down here and just see. I can see why people rave about this bike, and I think it's in the same way that people rave about the Himalayan. I mean, it's not refined. I wouldn't call this bike refined. It's a very, very capable bike, but I mean, I don't know if you can feel it. It pulls. It's very difficult to go smooth in the traffic. It's so lurchy, which surprises me. You know, for that sort of money that you're paying, I would expect this to be much smoother. And the other thing I've noticed moving it about, the foot pegs keep catching my legs. It's really quite difficult. I mean, Bertie has fixed foot pegs and they don't catch me as much as they do on this. But having said that, when I pulled into the office, we have a small car park, and its balance is incredible. It's marvellous, absolutely stupendous. You know, it just sits there very slowly, turns round, and the balance is just incredible. And I could see that being really handy when you are off-road and stuff. But we'll get on the A14, have another little blast on the A14 and see what's what. Okay, off you go. Go on, skedaddle. The sound of it is just lovely. I really do like it, and I could imagine, you know, getting used to it, but there's no way around it. I think it's agricultural, and I know I'm going to get loads of haters for this because it is such a popular bike, but I can't help being disappointed with it. Yes, it's a nice bike, but I mean, look at this in traffic, trying to balance that. Maybe if I go into second, we'll see, and get a bit faster. But yeah, I'll be amazed if you don't go through chains and sprockets at quite a rate on it. Maybe I'd be better off with the automatic. Maybe it's my lack of talent or familiarity with it, I don't know. Maybe it's built like a tank and it'll just go on and on forever and ever, and that's what you're paying for. But I don't know. I don't even know. What is it doing to the gallon? 52.8 miles to the gallon. So it's a bit better than Biggles. Biggles is a slightly heavier drinker. So yeah, I'm not 100% sold on the seating position either. I'm 6'2" and it's comfy, but I feel like I'm sat in it just a bit too much. So just had a blast down the A14, and it's quite blustery today, and I've got to say it does a really good job of keeping the wind off me. Yeah, it keeps me wind free, but what it does do is in being able to keep the wind off me, it's obviously quite big and bulky, and I think it just catches the wind itself, and it's not as stable as it might be. Because of that, it's a little bit like a sail. But saying that, it didn't feel unsafe or anything like that. You know, it's still a big solid machine, but it just sort of, it was getting the buffeting, I think is the easiest thing to say. But it goes along at a fair lick, and the handling, the actual round the bends and turns and things, absolutely marvellous. The brakes, everything like that. Brakes are good, clutch is easy, it's not heavy. The throttle is not so easy, I've got to say. It's the one thing, it just makes it feel a little bit lumpy. If it were gravy, it would be lumpy gravy, I'm afraid. but that doesn't mean it's a bad bike. And you know, I know from what everybody says about it, and it's got such a good following, that this is a better bike than I feel it is. So you don't want to listen to me and know nothing. It's clearly a strong, powerful adventure bike that's capable of great things. But would I swap Biggles, the Tiger 900 for it? No, not in a million years. Would I have one? Yeah, if the Triumph Tiger didn't exist, I might have considered something like this, but I'm not particularly comfy on it. Maybe it's my size, I don't know. Maybe it's this particular bike, the way it's set up, I don't know. But you know, what else can I say really? A little bit disappointed, I think, really. I've just opened my visor because it's quite a sweltering day, but the wind's not so sweltering. Could I do 1,000 miles on it? Yeah, easily. And that's what it is, it's a mile cruncher. But you don't want to be lumping about in traffic. You want to be on clear roads, I reckon, for long periods of time where you don't have to alter anything. I find the cruise control near on impossible till you get your hand off the throttle, the engine braking so strong. And I was just thinking, and I was looking at those dials, and I wonder if that middle one, EB, is engine braking. I don't know, maybe you can dial it down a bit. I don't know. I'm sure that maybe if someone else who's experienced with these came along and set this up, they could set this up perfect for me, and I'd probably completely change my mind about it. Completely change my mind. And I'd love for that to happen, because it just tips in so nice. There's lots of things to like about it, but the whole picture, you know, we talk about that sixth sense. I just don't get it. I'm not seeing what I've heard about it. It does feel agricultural, and for that sort of money you pay for it, I think you want a bit more than agricultural, don't you? I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. So here we go. Back with it. Marvellous. Let's pop it here and just have a look around it. Because it is a marvellous bike. There we go. So, Honda Africa Twin. I mean, it is, that sort of squat nose bit is unusual, isn't it? It's not quite as beaky as some, and it's sort of got long legs at the front, which make it stand out. It's what you see one going down the road, you know what it is. And now when I see one going down the road, I'll know what it feels like, and I'll know that it feels a bit more agricultural than I'd anticipated. But I can imagine it doing great things. It's quality, it's good quality, it feels quality. You know, there's nothing cheap about it. But there wouldn't be, would they? There wouldn't be. Nice gold wheels, that's marvellous. Nissan brakes, no Brembos or anything like that on this. Paintwork's good. Yeah, marvellous. Just had a quick blast down the A14 after dropping the Africa Twin off, and I've got to say I'm very happy to be back on Biggles. You know, nothing wrong with the Africa Twin. but as a comparison, this seems a lot smoother, a lot easier. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say, really? This seems very refined in comparison, very refined indeed. I think the handling might even be better as well, but of course I didn't have the Africa Twin set up. Well, maybe I did, I don't know, maybe it can be improved upon for me, and I know I'm going to get hung, drawn and quartered, because the Africa Twin is a very popular motorbike. So yeah, I guess I'll have to take that on the chin. But there you go, Pickles is back. New Kid on the Block is still my favourite. Yeah. When you consider that they're roughly the same money, yeah, very happy with Biggles. Was the first time I tried it, and still am.